Hi everyone, welcome back to our Minisode of Stop Shitting on Yourself.
Where we answer shit questions with a glass of whatever the Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Think. What is that? Is that coffee or is that wine? It looks like wine.
Could be both, honestly. At this point,
Wow.
it's probably both.
You're not going to give me a straight up answer.
No, just, yeah, it's one of those days or weeks.
So it's probably wine? Are you day drinking with me, Jessica? Because I recently found out that I was the only one day drinking.
I'm gonna leave it up to interpretation.
Okay. I'm gonna try to say that it's wine. Okay, so I don't feel as bad drinking this strawberry vodka by myself. So
Ooh.
I know one of my coworkers, she makes strawberry infused vodka. It's no added sugar. It's all natural, right? Like she just puts in like strawberries with like vodka and she lets it sit and she rotates it for like a few days.
Whoa.
And boom, you get strawberry
That sounds
vodka.
delicious. Wait, just
It's so
straight
good.
strawberry and vodka? And that's...
Yeah. Yes. So this whole thing is just vodka.
All right,
It's
girl.
just vodka, but it
All right.
doesn't taste bad. It tastes so good.
We're gonna need that recipe, I think.
I know, right? Maybe I'll learn from her and then I'll make you a bottle.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm there.
Okay, and then we can party. We can be like, woohoo, social distance party.
Exactly. Okay. All right, let's get into the questions.
You're like, wait. What are we doing?
What is
We're on a
happening
podcast
today? Yeah.
What are we doing? Well, okay, so I wanted to ask you because
Okay.
I think it's been I mean, I saw this video and it was like it was going viral. But I think it's super relatable too for me. I mean, because I'm still single, and
Yeah.
I'm not going on a lot of dates because, COVID.
Right.
But I think it can also resonate with just like anybody because you've been there, done that as well, even though you're married, right? This video went viral because they were debating who should be the one to pay on the first date.
Oh.
So let's talk about it.
Mm.
What do you think, Jessica? Who do you think should be the first one to pay on the first date?
Okay. So obviously we're two women, so we can sort of only give it from like a woman's perspective. And I know you guys are expecting me to say men should pay for the first date. I actually
Who's expecting you to say that?
I don't know. Men.
Our listeners?
Our listeners, I don't know, someone. But I actually think for the first date, I prefer to split the bill.
Okay.
For the first date. I don't think there's a specific rhyme or reason. I just think as the first date, you're still like getting to know each other and understand each other. So as a first date, I prefer to not have any expectation and just pay for our own on the first date.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, is there a reason why?
No, I don't think so. I think that like first dates are like difficult enough as it is. Like you don't know the other person, you don't know what's going on. I think it's different if you're going on a first like official in a relationship date versus like we're just getting to know each other. Like if you don't know each other versus if you know each other. First date. I feel like there's a difference.
Well, if you know each other, then it wouldn't be a first
like if you guys
date.
are friends.
Oh, okay. Like in that situation, like you are friends, but like all of a sudden someone was like, you know what? I kind of like this person. Let's go on a date type of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I think in general, for me, for a first date, if I don't really know you, and we're going on a first date, I'm like thinking back to my dating days. I feel like because I want to go into date with no expectations and I don't want to put anything on the other person either. So why don't we start off with like the same footing? So let's just pay for ourselves. That's sort of my mindset.
Okay. I could see that.
What about you?
Thanks for asking. Cause I'm like, now I'm kind of thinking like about different situations. But I think like you said, I can only speak on my own like experiences as a heterosexual woman. And so the only dates that I've been on is with men. Right. And so I think for first dates, I do not expect for the men to pay
Okay. Yeah.
100%. Because I think it's kind of weird going on a date expecting that you're going to be paid for. Like
Mm.
I feel like a lot of times women do go on dates and they're like, "Oh, this is the first date," and they're already set like the guy's gonna pay for me, and so I don't like that at all. Because one, I can pay for myself, like you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can pay for
Exactly.
my own.
It's
So
2021. Like I can pay for this.
yeah, and if you can't, why are you on a date? Don't mooch off of people,
Yeah.
regardless of what gender you are, don't mooch off of people, okay?
Right.
But like I'm on a date because I want to get to know somebody and who they are. And so I don't expect the person to pay for me. And so oftentimes I do like I'm like, "Oh, it's time to pay." And if it's a dinner, then like, "Cool, like let's split." But then usually, in my experience, usually it is the guy that says, "No, no, no, I got this." And the thing is, when that happens, I think it is really nice. And it's like, oh, cool, like he's got it. Cool. Like, and to me, it shows I don't know. It's like it shows that, like, okay, cool, like he um, when you say like, oh, chivalry is not dead. I
Chivalry is
can
not
never
dead.
say that word. If you
Yeah.
okay, so if you've been listening to podcasts, you know that like I jumble up my words a lot. And I don't know why, but I do. But chivalry, am I saying that right?
Chivalry. Chivalry.
Chivalry. Okay. Hey Google, how do you pronounce this word?
Chivalry.
Chivalry.
Chivalry. Oh my gosh, the things you like pick up on. Okay, anyways, I would like to hope that chivalry is not dead, right? Like it's not. And there are certain things where it's like, okay, let's switch it up. But there are certain things about chivalry that shouldn't be dead. And I'm
Yeah.
like, opening doors for somebody,
Hmm.
that kind of
Okay,
stuff.
but
And
so I know you said there's no expectation for the guy to pay, but if the guy doesn't offer to pay,
uh-huh.
like does that change your view on them, or does that, like spark any negative thoughts or anything?
Yeah, because you said if he doesn't offer to pay. If he doesn't offer to
Ah,
pay, that's like
okay.
the same thing with anybody. Like if a girl doesn't even offer to pay, and I'd be looking at the side table if another girl and a guy
Just
were on a
expects
date.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the girl doesn't even like take out their wallet. They don't even, it's clear the body language shows that she didn't even offer to pay. I'd be
Yeah.
like, I would judge. Sorry, I would judge. That's just what it is. I would
Okay,
judge.
okay.
Okay.
So
But
it's
if a
the
guy,
the act of offering.
yeah, it's like if you don't even offer to pay, then it's not even on your mind that like that you should
Hmm.
pay, right? For the
Okay.
meal that you ate or the drink that you drank,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So you're expecting that the other person pay for you, and you are kind of expecting that from somebody, like they owe you that for going on a date with them. I think that's stupid. So if a
Got
guy
it.
doesn't even offer to pay, then yes, I would judge them because you haven't even offered, right?
Okay.
Um, but I think if they do pay, it's nice. It's nice. It's like, oh, that's great, right? But if they don't, it's like, well, it's a first date. I don't It's like, okay, cool. Like it is the first date. Like you're right. You don't owe me anything. I don't know you. You don't
Okay.
know me.
So
So,
what if now I'm running through all the scenarios, right? So you said, okay, of course, if they don't offer to pay, then that's not great. What if they go immediately when they get the bill? It's like, okay, we're splitting the bill. Does that cause any is that a cause for concern?
I think if they said it in that way, I'd be like, I would kind of, okay, hear me out. If they said like, okay, we're splitting the bill,
Okay.
I would be a little turned off by that because they just determined right away, boom. And they determined it for me too. So it's like we're splitting the bill. And then it's like that speaks a lot about their personality. And I do pay attention to little details like that, where like
Okay.
if someone, it's like, I don't know you, you don't know me. We're getting to know each other on a first date. And yet you are going to decide little things like this even for me. That's a for me, I don't like that. It is a turn off. If they asked like, "Hey, do you mind if we split the bill?"
Mhm.
Right? I think that's a little bit better because it's like, okay, you're kind of taking the other person into consideration. So kind of even if like you don't mean it, even if you want them to like pay for it, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it's just like how do you approach the person, I think is really important. And so if I do hear like, hey, we're splitting the bill and it's like done decision, I would probably think that that kind of I don't know, like mindset carries on to other things in a relationship. So I'd be like, sorry, no, you're not making decisions for me. You can ask me, you know,
Okay.
but
But is it okay then if he's like, "I got this?" Because that's also making a decision.
that's true. You just called me out, but it does benefit me. It does
Yeah,
benefit me, huh?
it
But then
does,
I could also
yeah.
disagree there too, and
True,
I'd be like,
true.
no, I mean, yeah, okay, fine, Jessica. Okay, cool. Okay. And now I'm like, wait, hold on. But I've done that before too, where I'm like, no. Let me like actually split it. And then we've
Got it,
gotten into
okay.
like not heated arguments, but like I've gone into like some arguments with like people on the first date, like, let me pay. No, no.
Yeah, the
But
Asian, like, splitting the bill or,
oh my God,
who
I
pays
know,
what.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Asians do that so much. It's like, let me pay for you. No, let me pay. Like,
No, I'm
there's like,
paying. It's a
yeah, there's
sport.
like a whole like comedy skit about that, right? Like where people who grew up in like the American culture, like Americans are like, oh, you want to pay for me? Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you. Right. And they gladly accept it. Whereas
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Asians, we fight over
It's
the
like,
bill. We're
"No,
like,
no."
I'm paying. No, I'm paying. No, I'm paying. It's like a
Yeah,
whole thing. But
yeah.
I've been in I think you know what I do appreciate though. Okay, so what I like to do is even if I'm like in a relationship with somebody, and right now I'm not, right? Currently, I'm still single and ready to not mingle. It's COVID. But I even if I'm in a relationship with somebody, like instead of splitting, I like to pay for it in whole and then take turns paying for things, if
Got
that
it,
makes
okay.
sense. So like
Yeah,
like if somebody on the first date got dinner, if they like insisted, they're like, no, let me pay for it, right? Then and if I like them too, and like usually I would if I'm gonna finish dinner like that and like have them pay too if they offered, I'd be like, you know what? Let me buy you drinks. Let's go here. I'll get you dessert. Let me buy you drinks or whatever. The next round's on me, right? And so like I don't like to end it with like, oh, them just paying. I feel like it should be like it should be somewhat like a switch on and off type of
reciprocated.
thing. Yeah, there you go. That's the right word. So even when I was in like relationships, I mean, yeah, there were times when we would split, right? But like I would prefer it to be, oh, I'll pay for dinner this time. You pay for dinner tomorrow. You pay for dinner today. I pay for dinner tomorrow. So it's like, it's reciprocated. You switch on and off because it shouldn't just be like one person. I mean, situations are all different. It's all different, but
Yeah. I mean, you do you, like, I'm sure there are plenty of people, like, I actually know of a friend of a friend, and it's funny
okay.
because we were talking about this. This was, like, a while back when we were, this was maybe a few years ago, and she actually asked me the same question,
Oh,
"Do I expect guys to just immediately pay?" And I'm like, "No, like, I'm an independent woman, like, I can pay for my own shit. I don't expect men to pay for anything, right?" But she was saying that her friend actually strategically go on these like Tinder first dates or whatever just to get free meals out of it.
oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, and she was, sort of boasting a little bit like, "Oh, I've gone on like a week straight without paying for any meals." And there are people who do that, and it definitely sucks. And I think, like, come on, we're again in 2021, like we should be able to pay for ourselves. But at the same time, like maybe some people just like to date that way, and some guys are okay with it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
definitely have met guys who are like, no, I have to pay on the first date,
Yeah.
and that's fine. That's just not the type of relationship I want to be in. Um,
Oh,
you know.
I, girl, I mean, if they like want to pay on the first day, I'd be like, wow, that's so nice. I'd be like, that's really nice. And I would gladly be like, you know what? That's nice. Okay, cool. But
I
like
mean,
once
I'd
again,
like to
follow up.
show that I can, yeah, exactly. Like I like to show that I can also pay for things. Like I don't need you.
Yeah, you don't need to, but it's also nice like being treated once in a while. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
I think it's a problem when like your friend of a friend, like
Mhm.
um deliberately goes on a date to get free meals. I think that's like, I don't know. You do you, boo, but like that's just not me, right?
Yeah.
But on a first date, if a dude wants to pay, I'm like, cool. Like I'll offer to pay too because I'm good with that too and I know I can, but if you really want to pay, like that's kind of nice. It's like, "Aw, like, aw, like, oh, you're gonna pay for the date? Okay, cool." Like, oh, he is, the chivalry thing is not
It's not
dead. I'm
dead.
like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But
like,
I think the same thing goes for men, or at least what I've seen on social media, what I've seen on TV. It's like
mm,
um, men typically don't expect women to pay, but they at least like to gesture that like we're offering to pay, and they would want it to be like
mm.
a real offer. It's not like, oh, let me pay, and then we're
Oh,
like,
and be like
you know,
hesitant, like, where's my
yeah, yeah,
wallet? Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
gosh, I
yeah,
like
yeah.
totally forgot it at home.
Yeah,
Like, stupid
exactly.
thing.
Like, be
Yeah.
real about offering. Like, if you're actually gonna offer to pay, don't be upset if the guy takes you up on it either.
Yeah, exactly. Good point there. Like if the guy's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you want to pay? All right, cool. Let's split."
Yeah, great.
Don't be
Yeah.
upset about it. Like, don't think that he's being cheap about it either
Mhm.
because like you literally offered to pay, girl. Like if you
Exactly.
feel a certain type of way because he takes up on your offer, you're the problem. Like, I'm sorry. Like, sorry, you're the problem. Like I said it. I said it. I said it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
offered and if you feel a certain type of way because he took it, then
Yeah,
you
live
were
up to
fake
your word,
offering.
girl. Yeah.
Yeah, don't be fake about it.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
exactly, exactly. I mean, this is not,
Mm.
again, like an advice podcast. It's just how we feel.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if that comes off very judgy, but at the same time, like,
I'm
fuck it.
judging a little
That's
bit. Yeah. I mean, it's nice to be offered, obviously. It's nice to feel
yeah.
like you're being treated nicely. But I think, from the men's perspective, I'm sure they want to surprise every now and then too. And like be surprised when a girl wants to treat them. Be like, yeah, I want to treat you out. Like, why not? You deserve it.
Yeah, but that's, once you start to get to know that person and
True.
you like them and like they
True.
are deserving of you and your energy and
True.
all that, you know what I mean? But like first date, speaking of the first date, first thing that you do. Yeah. I don't know. I like to definitely go like pay for things, switch on and
Yeah.
off, reciprocate it,
Yeah,
Like,
for
oh,
sure.
hey, we had dinner.
Take
Okay,
turns.
cool. Yeah, let's go out for drinks after, or like let's
Yeah.
go to an arcade. Like, I'll pay for that. Like,
Yeah.
let me do something for you too. But
Totally.
yeah, I don't know. That's tricky. Don't come at us
Definitely
for
is.
saying that. Don't come at
Yeah.
us.
Well, let me know in the comment section below. Let us know um, who you think should pay for the first date, and if you
Yeah.
always expect the other person to pay first.
Yeah, just let us know. I'm curious. Like,
Yeah. And I'm actually really curious what other like expectation men might have, because obviously we're speaking from our perspective, but I'm
mhm.
really curious, like, other than the fact that it's like don't pretend to pay or don't pretend to offer if you can't, but if there's any other like first date expectations from.
Yeah, and I feel like because we're talking about like heterosexual relationships too, because that's the thing that like we can speak about. I also wonder what it's like for like other groups of people too, when like you're on a date and you're like, oh, who pays?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so curious.
Great.
Well, let us know in the comments below, and that is it for this week. We will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.